Hello everybody, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about the latest episode of The Bachelor. That is week 9, also known as Fantasy Suite Week. So don't forget guys, this was the week in Rachel's journey in which things didn't work out with Zach. So this is a very important week for him. He does have a rule, which is he's not going to be intimate with any of them. Which I don't know about y'all's opinion, but I think that's a pretty good idea. So his first day to spend with one of the women is with Ariel. They are hanging out, eating in Thailand. They actually also eat bugs together. I really like Ariel. I think she's super cool, but I honestly don't see that much of a connection between them. It's like there isn't enough depth. But it does look like they are enjoying the date. They sit and watch one of those like shows where they play with fire. And then we see glimpses of Gabby in her room. And she's freaking out a little knowing that Zach is with someone else. But I mean, that's pretty much inevitable. It's much later and Zach and Ariel are now in the dinner. He says that when they're together, it feels like they are in their own little world. Then she acknowledges that up to this point, she's been pretty reserved. But now she wants to be upfront and honest. And she reveals that she's falling in love with him. He doesn't say it back because he doesn't want to say it. He wants to sort of like save it till the end, which I appreciate that, but he does look really happy to hear that. And he says that he wants her to know that he definitely sees a future with her. They then get the envelope with the fantasy suite key, and she reads it, and he proceeds to tell her about this rule that he's going to be doing, which is not being physically intimate with any of them until an engagement. She's disappointed, she expresses it, and it's all over her face, and I get it, but I feel like his reasoning makes a lot of sense. But they do go to the suite, which is spectacular, by the way. Like, it has a pool, it's so nice and everything, and he knows that this rule was going to be hard to follow. Eventually, the morning comes, and based on how the scene is shot, it kind of looks like they might have done it, but Zach reveals that they didn't. And then the day is now time for Gabby. It's her turn, and they go on this big boat, and they're in the water looking at the beach and all these cool things. They are talking, and then she says that she feels a little bit bad for being the second one. And then before you know it, she's having like some sort of panic attack, saying that being second reminded her of being second before and not being a priority. I understand her insecurities, but I wouldn't have said it like she did. I feel like she was like pouring all her baggage onto him. I think she should have just enjoyed the moment that she was spending with him. But thankfully for her, Zach understands where she's coming from, and he validates her feelings and says that her being second, like in the day, has nothing to do with her being a second choice. I'm still a little confused how Gabby made it this far, but let me say this. Zach must really like her because when multiple women this season have cried about their feelings, he sent them straight home. Anyway, it's much later, and again, they are in their little dinner. They talk a little bit about what happened earlier, and he says that he understands it because he often feels insecure a lot of the times. And she then proceeds to say that she's falling in love with him. They then get the card for the suite, and he has the same talk that he had with Ariel about this rule. And she's a little bit too disappointed. I was shocked, and I'm sorry, but I have to say this. It makes me wonder if the roles were reversed. Let's say Zach was a woman telling all these men that he didn't want to be intimate, and they had these reactions. How would that look? But, you guys, it gets messy. In the morning, Zach goes to talk to Jesse, and he reveals that he was indeed intimate with Gabby. I was so disappointed. First with Gabby because she definitely insisted after he said he wasn't going to do it. And I'm disappointed on Zach because he's not a man of his word. If he said no, then keep your word and know it's no with everyone. So he's telling Jesse that he feels horrible with Ariel because he said it to her and he followed through with it, but not with Gabby. Then it's time for the day with Katie. But before that, he stops by to Gabby's room to talk about last night and what happened. And he says that he doesn't want to keep secrets about what happened. And Gabby's really caught off guard. She's really bothered. And then all of a sudden, he drops the bomb that he's falling in love with her. Mind you, this is the first time he's saying this, and I couldn't believe it. And I don't know, there's something a little bit off about Gabby. Like the way she has like a smug smile sometimes. I don't know. But he then goes with Katie. Now, they're not on a big boat like the one that he was with Gabby with. They're in a little canoe. But she is really excited to see him. They are talking, and he begins to then talk about the intimacy thing. How he had set those boundaries and parameters, and that he broke them with Gabby. It was very cringy. She doesn't really know what to say. She's a little speechless at the moment. Nobody wants to hear that. Like, she understands that it could have happened, but for him to actually say it, and I mean, I guess that's like, imagine putting yourself in her shoes. There's this guy that you really like, and then he tells you that he was intimate with someone else. And it's kind of the first time that we see Katie really upset and really disappointed. The date was ruined for poor Katie. And mind you, they are in the jungle. It's dark, it's raining, and it's full of bugs. They are talking, but the mood is just awful. He says that if it is them in the end, he really wanted her to know. Then she says that she understands, but he says that he doesn't like seeing her upset. And she says, well, how did you expect me to be? She doesn't know that what she's going to do. She doesn't know she's even going to spend the whole day with him because of how she feels. But some time goes by. It's later in the day, and she does go with him to the dinner and says that he can't hold secrets because it makes him feel guilty, that when he was a little kid, it's been like that ever since, blah, blah, blah. And she doesn't seem that angry anymore. She actually seems a little bit more understanding and says that this is something they could definitely move past, and maybe it's like probably even like something that they need to go past to see how strong they are. Then we skip to the rose ceremony, and it is Ariel who was sent home. It is not a surprise to me. She's upset, obviously, but she was way too cool for Zach, to be honest. But now it's Katie and Gabby. They are the final two. And guess who's mad now all of a sudden? Gabby. She doesn't like that Zach said what they did, and she feels like he's not looking at her, that he's only looking at Katie. So I've said from the beginning, I've always thought that Katie's going to be the one that goes home, that gets engaged. But for Zach to tell Gabby that he is falling in love with her, I don't understand. You guys help me understand. Am I the only one who like is confused? Like, I don't know. Out of all the women, Gabby, I mean, I don't know. But you guys, that was the end of the episode. Next week, guess what is? The finale of The Bachelor season 27. By the promo, it looks like it's going to be very messy. There might not even be an engagement because things are going to get really messy. But I can't wait for that, and that's going to be next week. So please don't forget to like and subscribe so that we're going to be here talking about that next week. And let me know your thoughts in the comments. What did you think about this overall episode about Zach, about Gabby, about Katie, and about Ariel? Let me know, and I'll catch y'all next time. Y'all have a great one. Bye.